Hey you guys, it's Olivia, and I hate recording these videos. I'm sorry. I am finding that it's too much time and I don't care for it, but I'm gonna keep doing it for you. Let's see, what recap am I on now? Paris. This is the Paris recap. It's long overdue, but it's fine. It's fine. Better late than never, right? I spent roughly 3 days in Paris. I booked a train from London to Paris. So that was a good ride. It wasn't too bad. I didn't have to get off and do any transfers or anything. It was just a smooth train. After I came in from the train, I took the metro, like underground or whatever. A lot of steps or whatever, but it was fine. It wasn't like too annoying, but I will say that the Paris transportation system is easy, simple. You don't need to know French to navigate their transportation system. You just need to follow directions. That's it. I don't think it was too much, but again, if I have to get somewhere, I'm not worried about how much it costs. I'm worried about how I'm getting there safely, you know? So I don't think it was bad. I think it was pretty inexpensive, maybe. Again, everything is going to be more expensive because the conversion rate to US dollar is just not good, especially like in Paris because they use a euro. Yeah, but anyway, but you can go to like a person and get a ticket, or you can just go to the kiosk. I always go to the kiosk because there is usually like an English button on there that you can press and it'll translate everything in English for you, and it's easy. And also I don't want to talk to people, so but it was fine. One time I did have to go to the service desk to put in my little ticket because you have to validate it before you can get through to like actually wait to get on the trains. So you take your ticket and you stick it in this little slot or whatever, and then it comes out the other end and it's like validated, and then you can go through the gates. So I did that, but I didn't get my suitcase and my bags and stuff through the gate fast enough, and it was only a one-time ticket that I got. I didn't do like a pass or a round trip or anything. I just did a one and done type of thing. So I had to go all the way up there and try to explain to the guy in very bad French that my ticket wasn't working, and luckily I had my receipt, so I could like kind of show him that like, hey, I just bought this ticket, it's not working, I promise I'm not trying to get over on you. So the guy was nice and he let me through manually or whatever, and that was fine. Other than that, I know I read and saw that like pickpocketing is a really big thing in Paris. I personally did not experience anything just because I was hyper aware of people in my personal space, and that's how people, you know, get you. And on top of that, I had a tote bag majority of the time, so I didn't have like an actual zipper bag or anything that was behind me. And you know, with my tote bag, I just kind of tilted towards myself and it was fine. So I definitely would recommend using their metro system to get around Paris, because if I only did that a few times actually. The rest of the time I just walked. When I tell you these little legs, well, these legs were walking. You know that song that these boots are made for walking? Yeah, I was putting them to use. Do you hear me? Because one, I was trying to explore the city and just really look at the beauty of the architecture and everything around me and really get a feel for what it was like. Paris is huge, okay? And the tourist attractions are not necessarily near each other. So unless you do like a tour or a hop on, hop off, or you take the metro, it's a lot of walking. I went from one tourist attraction to the next tourist attraction. It was like a 40-minute to an hour walk in one direction. And mind you, I love to walk, so that was fine for me. It was okay. Sometimes I would walk, and after like 3 or 4 hours of walking, then I would take the metro back. Or for example, I made my own perfume, which I'll get into, and I took the metro there because I didn't want to be late, and then I just walked back, and that was like, I walked back like an hour and a half because I was out the way. But it was fine. It was cool. It was cool. Accommodation, I booked my it was like a studio through Airbnb, and it was kind of expensive, but also I've read that like Paris is expensive, and again, I'm gonna be safe. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and I'm not staying in hostels my whole time just to save a buck. I'm sorry, I don't want to. And I wanted a place that had a kitchenette so that way I can make my own meals. Because again, your girl is trying to save money, okay? We're not spending the bag out here. The bag was spent trying to get here and the accommodation and the transportation of it all, okay? So I did cook the first night I was there. It was really cute. A little studio. It was on the 8th floor. I had a beautiful view. I think the place was safe. Like I didn't have any issues. The first time I went, the host told me in advance though that the elevator was broken, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I did have to lug my 3 bags because I did have to pull the duffel out. I had to lug up my 3 bags up. It's like a windy staircase to the 8th floor. I was tired as hell, but it's cool because that's what I trained for. This is I didn't train for it, but if you know, then I worked at a grocery store and I worked outside. Yeah, all those steps that I did helped your girl out. And even after that, the next day there, the elevator was fixed, so it was fine. Like, it was fine. The area was a pretty decent area. It was not close to everything, obviously, because Paris is spread out, but it was close to like a grocery store and shops and things that I wanted to do. And I was in the 7th arrondissement, which is like neighborhoods. Like, Paris is broken up into zones, which is like most of these places that I've been going to. So I was in the 7th, and that is basically near the Eiffel Tower, which is the only thing I truly actually wanted to see. I was only here for a few days. I didn't do any museums because I didn't want to waste any time waiting in line and deal with the crowds to go see something that I'm just not that interested in. I'm sorry. Mona Lisa don't got nothing on my smile. Okay? No, just like, woo! Anyway, I went to the Eiffel Tower and I passed it and I was around it, and that was beautiful. I went there the first night and I saw it. I was like, okay, cool, this is great. And then I waited until sunset so I could see it glimmer or shimmer or whatever. And it does that like every hour for literally only 5 minutes until like midnight or something like that. And if you go there are people there trying to sell you wine and sell you souvenirs. Don't buy nothing from them. You can like, have a picnic there because there's like this big old open like grass field that you can see right in front of the Eiffel Tower. And just bring you a blanket or something that you can sit on. You can go to the grocery store and buy the same wine for cheaper, get you some little glasses and get you some pizza, whatever, and do that on your own. Don't buy from them. It's a waste. It's a waste of money, personally. I did not climb the Eiffel Tower because, again, I was trying to save money and I was trying to be useful with my time, and that wasn't useful for me. If I was staying longer, maybe, but it was fine. It was okay. It wasn't that big of a deal for me. So attractions or activities, the main things that I really wanted to do was, of course, go to the Eiffel Tower, and then I wanted to make my own perfume. So I did get to do that. I did, what was the place called? Guillemard or something like that. I'll put it in the thing, and I'll have a video on that if I haven't posted it already. It'll be like me, making the my own custom perfume or whatever. So that was a really cool experience. I found that on was it TripAdvisor or Get Your Guide or Viator? I don't know. It was one of those sites that you can like book things with. So that was really fun. That was a very cool experience, and I felt like a little science girl with the beaker trying to measure. Yeah. I did see a few other touristy things. I didn't shop like too much. I got the souvenirs that I was supposed to get, and then that was really it. It was a very chill few days. I was working, so it felt kind of rushed. I did go out every day to make sure that like at least I walked around just to be in the atmosphere. And honestly, I really enjoyed it. I would have definitely stayed longer. The only reason why The only reason why I didn't stay as long or plan to stay as long is because I wasn't sure. There's so many mixed reviews about Americans in Paris, women in Paris, solo female travelers, blah, blah, blah. And I just didn't want to take any chances, but I've always wanted to go to Paris. So I said, okay, let me just do a few days. I did it, my picture, and let's move on. What else did I do? I truly did not do anything else. It was very, very quick, but it was a very nice trip. I was a little sad to leave. I really would go back and stay like a week. It wasn't too expensive, not more expensive than any other major city, honestly. So I felt like I wasn't really saving any money, but I wasn't spending terrible amount of money. I didn't really eat any French food just because, again, I was saving money. So I did cook in my studio. I did get like a baguette and got like a sandwich and a pastry or whatever, but that was really it. I didn't do anything like truly extravagant. Overall, I would give Paris an 8 out of 10, and I would definitely return. I felt safe. I will say that not the pickpocketers, but the scammers, they're definitely out there at all the tourist locations. So if you decide to go, just be very vigilant, like hyper vigilant of the people around you. I didn't let that stop me. Like, I still asked strangers that discernment, y'all, you gotta feel it, that I felt okay with asking to like take my picture, or if they asked me to take their picture and it was fine. It was just like the people with the clipboards, and they don't say anything because they don't know what language you actually speak, and they're just like shoving it in your face, trying to get you to sign it, or trying to distract you so somebody could come up and pickpocket you. And I wasn't having that. One lady, I slapped that clipboard out of her hands because, girl, you're not gonna get me. That's it. That was Paris. It's very short, sweet, and to the point this time. I'll stop here, I guess. That's it.